Hi, welcome to Barbecue Lou's How to Barbecue and How to Grill. Today is January 1st, 2010, and we're going to be doing one of my favorite foods, is pulled pork on the Weber Smoky Mountain cooker. What we have going on right now is we've got a full lid of charcoal being lit using a Weber Performer gas assist, and we'll be cooking on the Weber Smoky Mountain, where I have the charcoal ring full of unlit charcoal, where I'm going to take the lit charcoals, put it on top. It's known as the minion method. What will happen is the other coals will light as the cooking process goes on. Because it's going to be a 12 to 14 hour cook, you don't want to be having to add fuel throughout the day. You just want to basically let it go. The smoker does a great job of maintaining a temperature between 225 and 250 throughout the cook. And then what we'll be using is apple wood. I'm a big component of any type of fruit wood when I'm using a smoker, whether it's ribs, pulled pork, brisket, doesn't matter. I really like the flavor of that wood. So we'll get a close-up here of the charcoal, the Performer, and then we're going to head inside, get the meat ready. By the time the meat's done, I'll be able to come out, get it on the grill, or on the smoker I mean, and you guys will see how this product finishes out here in about 12 hours. Alright. Alright, so now we're inside. We have the charcoal lighting outside, and I have a 6-pound pork butt shoulder. And really the process for this is pretty simple. I take yellow mustard, I'm going to smother it down there for the base. I'm going to add some grub to the whole piece of meat. We're going to let that just sit for a little bit until the grill's ready. We're going to set it on, add the wood, and then we'll be off to go. So the process is, like I said, pretty easy. We're just going to take the mustard, slather it all around on the piece of meat, and this is going to be a good coating to hold the rub on. And you'll see on the back of here it has a good layer of fat. What I usually do with that is while I'm cooking, I always have the fat side up, because as it cooks slow and slow for those few hours, that fat is going to actually melt. And I want it on top, so this will be sitting just as it is right now with the fat side up, so the fat actually drips down into the meat, giving it a better taste. So that all rubbed up. Now we're going to take the rub. We're going to go ahead and put that on, and we're going to do this liberally as well. We get a lot of this rub on. It's going to make a really, really nice bark. And you'll see what the bark is. It's just going to be, this is all melting together. It's going to turn black when it cooks. It's almost going to look like it's burnt. But I can assure you that it's not. Alright, let's flip this over. So we got that rubbed up, and that's really it. Nothing more to do with this except for get it on the grill once it's ready. And once we do that, I will take the camera back outside and we'll get started on what's next. Alright, so we're back outside. I'm going to take the lit coals, I'm going to set them on top of the unlit coals and get this process started. So I set those on top of there. The other thing, the Weber Smoky Mountain comes with a water pan. I don't use water. I use foil as my heat control. So there's a water pan in there that's just foiled over. We'll go ahead and set this on top and get it set up. Let it come up to temperature. And then I will add the wood through the access door. I have put a thermometer with some foil just through one of the top holes, so I can monitor how hot it gets. We're going to be shooting for about 250 degrees for the next 12 hours. So as soon as that gets up to 250 degrees, I'm going to go ahead, put the meat on. We'll get a shot of that. And then about halfway through the cook, I'll take another picture of the meat for you. And then at the end, so you can see what the finished product looks like and how it just pulls apart and it's some good stuff. So we will see it in a little bit. Alrighty. Alright, so I've added the wood chips. You see the smokers going ahead, smoking away. We're going to take the pulled pork, set it right at the top grate. Put this lid on, and this lid will not be lifted now for at least the first, I'll say 6-7 hours of cooking. Not going to look at the meat, not going to do anything with it. Just going to let the cooker do what it does. And when we get back, I'll show you some pictures about 6 hours down the road. And then when we're done, again, pretty simple process for the pulled pork. It really just comes down to the seasonings. It's hard to screw up this piece of meat, but it tastes so good. So we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we are almost done with the cook. It's been about 10 hours. We may have probably about another hour to go, but I want to give a peek at the meat. What I've done is I've inserted a thermometer into the meat. And if you look at it, you see the nice bark on the meat. And the best thing about this is the cooker's done a very good job. It's held steady. If you look here, the temperature is at 250 degrees. And if you look around, you can see that it has been snowing and it's been picking up all day. So we're probably about a good hour away from seeing the finished product and pulling the pork apart. When we do that, we will finish up the video. Okay, we're back, and as you can see by the ground, the snow has continued to fall. We're going to get a close-up picture of the meat. I just took the internal temperature, and it was about 185. Now normally I like to pull these about 190 to 200 when I'm doing pulled pork. If I want it sliced, I'll keep it on around 180 to 190. So what I'm going to do right now is another little trick in the barbecue world is I'm going to take some foil. I'm going to wrap the meat up in foil and let it cook for about another half hour. Then I'm going to let it sit inside for a half an hour. That should bring the internal temperature up to about 190 to 195 degrees, and after it's sat for that half hour, we're going to go ahead and pull it. So we'll see you in a bit after I foil this, and then after I foil it, I'll give it a quick shot so you can see what that looks like on the grill. Okay, so there it is. It's foiled, and what the purpose of this is really just to let the meat cook in its own juices, and it really makes the meat pull apart so easily. You can do this with ribs, pulled pork, brisket, anything you want, but it's just another little trick to help make sure that your meat turns out perfect. Alright, when we come back, we'll unravel it inside and we'll be pulling it apart. Okay, so we're back inside, and if you can see that, I'm not sure how clear it's coming through, but the meat is at 190 degrees, which is perfect for pulling. So we're going to take the foil off of this and start pulling it apart, and we'll go from there. Alright, so there it is. It's out of the foil. And now we're just going to take 2 forks, and if you see it's going to come out pretty easily as it just falls off. And if you hear the juices, that's always good. So we're going to spend a few minutes here. I would recommend putting on some gloves just to keep it a little bit more clean. And when we're done, finished pulling this up, we'll plate it up for you, show you what the final product looks like. And we'll be right back. Alright, so I pulled most of it. I particularly like it to be a little bit more in pieces like this, as opposed to some people really like to shred it up. You can do either or, it's personal preference. We're just going to take some of that, throw it on some bread. Make sure we get a lot of it on there, a good piece of bark. And then to finish it off, we're going to take some of Barbecue Lou's hot and spicy barbecue sauce. Dump that all over it. And there you have it. Pulled pork sandwich. Thanks for watching the video. I look forward to doing some more videos in the upcoming future. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Until then, enjoy.